used to work for the people in charge. They are coming for you. I need to get this message out there as soon as I can. I work for the people controlling the government, the people above the law, and a myth I'll confirm here is that major icons and politicians are mere puppets to fulfill the goals and wants of these people. I cannot name the people in charge because, quite frankly, even I don't know their name. For certain reasons, I basically have gone rogue, and I suppose they are reading this as I type, and to be frank, I do not care about my life anymore. These people have tested my patience to the limit and wronged a lot of people by their supposed tests on innocent people from third world countries for the greater good of humanity, and their assassinations of decent politicians and icons who refuse to listen to them or threaten to expose them. These people have released some anomalies into the world, some extraterrestrial beings to watch over normal humans and experiment and do as they please with them for a little while, to see how the introduction of the creatures to humanity will go down, and partly to control the human population. I was an intern at the facility, and I discovered a list of rules kept in one of the labs. The list was meant for the scientists as a means to protect themselves if the aliens attacked them. Here is the list. Rule 1. If you even spot a UFO or see streaks of light in the air, the aliens have marked you and will try to play around with you to understand your psychology, and in most of the cases, kill you. You'll know you've seen a UFO if you can hear a high-pitched sound mixed with a grave, heavy, reverberating sound, almost like that of a gong. Rule 2. If the aliens have marked you, never leave the house after 12 a.m. to 6 a.m., and always close the curtains when you're inside your house. You do not want to see them trying to find a way into your house. That might cause severe paranoia or even a heart attack. But do not worry, if your house doesn't have an opening large enough for them, then they can't enter your house. They are about 5 feet tall and 2 feet wide, so think an opening big enough for a small child. Rule 3. If you see an unusual creature, for example, a horse with the head of a dog, or a cat with a human's facial features, do not react in any way. These sightings can happen throughout the day and are just hallucinations. The real creepy part is that they can project these hallucinations inside your house too, even if you block the curtains and lock the doors. But do not worry, just ignore it. It cannot physically harm you in any way. It's just mind games to get you out of the house. Rule 4. If you ever wake up and notice small things that are off about your surroundings, for example, having a different phone, dinner plate, or alarm clock, or your neighbors having weird haircuts, then go back to sleep as soon as you can, they are in your head and you are in a simulation which will lead to your death. No matter if it takes 10 hours, do not eat or drink anything and just try to go to sleep. Everything should return to normal once you wake up. Rule 5. If you ever do get captured by them, do not try to look around. They will do their thing and leave you, unharmed in 1 out of 10 cases. But if you try to fight them or run, you will go missing. Rule 6. Never ever click any photos of them or capture any videos. Their low profile is the only thing keeping them from destroying millions of lives. Rule 7. If you're on the road and you see the tall, blue, humanoid creature chasing after you, do not stop until they are out of sight. This again is a measure to make you go insane or possibly crash. Do not ride motorcycles anywhere until you're marked by them. Rule 8. If you do not get caught by them in a week's time, they will most probably get bored and look for another target. You'll be safe. You'll know they've left you alone when the aforementioned ordeals stop. I would suggest sharing this with everyone, just in case they happen to be tagged by it. Maybe you'll end up saving their life. Me and a team of exterminators are trying to neutralize them and minimize the havoc caused by them. We are also trying to expose the people of power, trying to manipulate and destroy the common man. Maybe I'll write to you guys again. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll be dead by tomorrow. Maybe you'll know everything by tomorrow. I have a lot to say and not a lot of time. I'll have to keep moving. Let's just hope we get them before they get us.
The Silent Neighbor. A few years ago, I moved into a small apartment in a quiet neighborhood. The building was old, but the rent was affordable and the location was perfect. My neighbors seemed normal too, everyone kept to themselves, and there was an eerie but comfortable silence in the hallways. However, there was one neighbor who stood out, an older man who lived in the unit next to mine. I'd never seen him in person, just heard muffled noises through the walls. Late-night footsteps, the sound of furniture scraping, and soft whispers. At first, I didn't think much of it. It could have been the old pipes, or maybe the man had a TV on low. But then I started noticing something strange. Every time I walked past his door, there would be a faint smell of something metallic. It wasn't always there, but when it was, it lingered. One evening, after a few weeks of this odd behavior, I decided to knock on his door. No one answered, but the door was slightly ajar. I pushed it open, and what I saw froze me in place. The apartment was completely empty, except for a small pile of old newspapers in the corner and some yellowing curtains fluttering by the window. But that wasn't what sent chills down my spine. What caught my attention was the floor. There were strange, dark stains all over it. As I took a step closer, I realized the smell was stronger now, and the stains, they weren't just dirt. I backed out of the apartment, closing the door behind me. I went straight to the building manager and told them about the situation. When they sent maintenance to check the apartment, they found the man's belongings, but there was no sign of him. They never found out where he went, but to this day, whenever I walk past that apartment, the smell still lingers in the hallway, like something just isn't quite right. I don't know what happened to the old man, and I don't think I ever want to find out.
I watched my friend die right in front of me. It happened when I was a kid. On a regular sunny day, me and my friends were playing outside after school. Nothing was out of the ordinary. To us, it was just a normal day. We were playing a game called Manhunt. Manhunt is basically hide and seek, but you don't have to hide in one spot, you can move around. So we started playing, running and hiding in between the quadplexes. We lived in a quadplex neighborhood. I was one of the hiders, and so was my friend. So we were running, but he was faster than me, so there was a gap between us. He runs around this corner without checking if there was a tagger. So while I'm chasing him, I had stopped running, and I hid behind the corner he just passed to check if there was any taggers before I continued following him. As I peek around the corner, there was a dyke woman arguing on the phone. She had told my friend to stop running and stay where he was. I was scared, so I kept watching from a distance. While she was on the phone, she was saying stuff like, "Come home right now. You better get home right now, or else." I was really confused as to what was happening, because my friend and I didn't even know this woman or what was going on. Then, all of a sudden, she says, "If you don't get here right now, I will shoot this kid." After she said that, she pulled out a gun and aimed it at my friend's head. Immediately, he started to cry and plead, and I'm still watching all of this from the corner. Nobody else is witnessing this. She continues to argue on the phone with the gun pointed at my friend. For like 5 minutes, he's just standing there crying and begging for his life to be spared. Then suddenly I hear a loud gunshot, and my friend's body drops to the ground. The woman walks back into her house with haste. I ran back to my friend's house to tell his sister the news. While I'm in there telling her, I can hear the police pull up the site. I guess one of the neighbors saw her arguing with the gun, aimed at my friend's head, and called them. His sister and mother were shattered and heartbroken at the news. The neighborhood was never the same after.